This is the websites.ca podcast, where we help Canadian small businesses build and maintain an effective website and online presence.
Hey folks, Sean Corbett here, websites.ca marketing. Again, I will not be joined by Ryan this week. So I'm going to get right down to it and do a really quick one for you. We're going to cover two different topics. One is the topic of how, if you are a business that serves consumers, so that's B2C locally, we're going to give you some strategies for maybe where your energy is best directed online. And then for business to business regionally, I'm going to give you a separate strategy, right? Because it's two different customer types. So we'll start with the business to consumer businesses. One of the biggest tools that you can utilize online is Google My Business. That's basically your business listing with Google. It also shows up on Google Maps. It shows your reviews. It has links to your website. It shows your hours, all that kind of stuff. If you haven't already, of course, you should be claiming your listing or generating a listing, populating it with all your information, and then sort of using it from there. So the most important thing that you can do with your Google business listing is to generate positive reviews, right? Those 4 and 5-star reviews, because that's what will help you show up for searches like, business in my area, right? Pizza shop in my area, ramen noodles in my area, dry cleaner near me, that kind of thing. The quality of your reviews is a giant driver of that information, and also the veracity, the accuracy of the information on your Google My Business listing. What I mean by that is that some people have different hours, different phone number, sometimes even a different address, different logo across all of their assets online, including their website. So you want to make sure all of your online assets, including your website, including Google My Business, Facebook pages, Instagram pages, all that stuff, that they all have the same information. Okay, so what's one of the easiest ways to get more good reviews on your Google My Business listing? That one's pretty simple. You make it as easy as possible by generating a link right from within your Google account so that you can give to people directly. You give them a direct link. It'll take them right to the page where they can leave a review for your business. And of course, the best time to ask is after they're happy. So once you've served them, if it's a product-based business that they bought the product, they're happy with the product, then you ask them to leave a review. If the service has just ended, you ask them, okay, is that what you wanted? Okay, I wouldn't mind, leave us a review. So there's some timing obviously involved in that. And then one last thing a lot of people do push back on is they say, well, but does somebody need a Google account or Google or a Gmail to be able to leave a review? Yes, you need a Google account. That person will need either a Gmail email address or just a plain old Google account, even if they don't use Google's emails. So yeah, that's kind of the way it works. There's no point kicking against it or fighting against it or being upset by it. Somebody who doesn't have a Google account and they can't leave you a review that way, they're probably in the minority anyway. So you don't really have to worry about it too much. The last thing I would add about Google My Business is it's just a really smart thing to make sure, like I said before, that not only are you keeping the information accurate, but you're keeping everything up to date. So maybe every now and again, go and add a new photo to your Google My Business listing. Double check your hours to make sure if there's been seasonal hour changes, everything is above board and correct. And if you're having trouble with Google My Business, you're not really comfortable using it, that you don't want to do it yourself, that kind of thing, websites.ca actually includes help with the Google listing, Google My Business, whatever you want to call it. So if you're not already using our service, you may want to look into it because that comes with our website hosting and management service. So with that out of the way, I wanted to give you the next really fast little strategy for B2B businesses. And this could be B2Bs who operate regionally, right? Provincially, maybe even across the whole country. The secret trick here is, well, it's not really that secret or that much of a trick, but you'd probably want to concentrate a lot more of your energy and time on LinkedIn. So LinkedIn is an extremely effective platform for B2B, and you can use what I call my connect and post strategy. This is something I do for multiple clients in my marketing firm. Essentially, it doesn't have to be overcomplicated. It's actually quite simple. It's definitely nothing cheesy, needy, or automated. So I want you to try to get those things out of your mind. Like, I have to automate it. It has to be, I got a 10x it or whatever the slogans are. No, you kind of just want to have a simple, consistent, dependable, organic strategy. So the easiest thing to do on LinkedIn is to figure out the job title or job titles of your target clients. I say job titles because LinkedIn allows people to enter in their own job title. So let's say you're targeting CEOs, they might put in CEO, or they might put in Chief Executive Officer, or they might put in even variations on those. So you can't just pick one, but basically you look at your best clients and you see, where do they operate? What level are they at in their organizations? Am I looking for owners? Am I looking for managers? Am I looking for a specific branch of knowledge, that kind of thing? So hopefully you've already connected with some of your clients on LinkedIn. If not, then that would be the first thing you would do. Get on LinkedIn and connect with all your current and past clients. Number one, that'll just beef up your network and it'll increase your reach. And those people are going to be familiar with you, so it'll be easy to connect with them, and quite organic and just sort of normal. Another thing that it'll do is it'll allow you to start spotting patterns. What do they post? What times do they post? When do they read things? What words do they use? And obviously, what do they list their job title as? So once you have that data, you're going to search for your target job titles within your region, within the region you operate in. And then once you find people on LinkedIn, and I like to search for second connections, right? So LinkedIn has first connection, second connection, third connection. First connection means you can message them directly. Second connection basically means that you know somebody who's a connection with them. And then third connection is essentially almost everybody else. So what you'll do when you're searching for your job titles is you'll set it to second connections only, and then you'll try to turn those second connections into first connections by clicking the connect button with them. Again, if that was kind of weird or confusing or over your head, or you're just starting with LinkedIn, you can also try to connect with people who are third plus connections. That's fine. But a lot of people I know already have a bunch of, 200-300 people, 400 people automatically loaded into their LinkedIn account. So this would be a good place to start, is with second connections. So anyway, once you find somebody that fits your bill, you just clicked the connect button, not the follow button, not the message button, but the connect button. It'll ask you if you want to add a message. When I'm doing specific targeting campaigns, sometimes I will add an introductory message, but that is not necessary for this strategy I'm telling you about right now. So maybe, for every 3 people you try to connect with, 1 will just say yes automatically because they'll see that you know someone they know, or that you're in the same industry, or you serve their industry. There'll be some kind of obvious context to most people. Finally, so if you're going to do this connection strategy once a week, try to connect with about 5 to 10 people a week. You don't have to pay for any advanced LinkedIn features. You don't have to get Sales Navigator. All the stuff I told you can be done for free right from the regular account. And, that's just something that you just put in your consistent weekly schedule. Now, once you're doing those 5 to 10 connections a week, over time, you'll see your network will begin to grow. From there, you want to do at least 1 to 2 posts to LinkedIn a week. You want to post them to your personal account and not your business account, okay? So LinkedIn just works better, shows your post to more people when it's person to person. You can do, like I say, 1 to 2 posts a week at minimum, or you can do a post every day. I would not do more than 1 post a day. The LinkedIn algorithm seems to limit reach at that point. So go from 1 a week to 5, 6, 7 a week. That's awesome. Whatever you can handle within that range. If you want some instructions for how to create a good short message that works as a compelling LinkedIn post, then you should check out our last podcast that I did. That was called Creating Killer Emails for Your Business. And I know that's about emails, but you can apply about 95% of the information from that podcast into creating a good LinkedIn post. Now, as I say in that podcast, you need to make sure you end every email, or in this case, every social media post, with a call to action. So whatever you talk about and you go through the structure that I'll lay out in that podcast, then you want to end with, so if you want help with this, or so if that sounds like something that it would be a good fit for you, whatever it is that you're pitching, right? Then you say either something like, then message me, or connect with me, because it's kind of, the LinkedIn parlance is to connect. Call me, put down your phone number in the post, or email me and put your personal email in the post. And sometimes you can even put a link to your website. So A lot of people, a lot of so-called social media gurus will say, don't link out externally. That hurts your reach. Well, sometimes linking externally to a website is the next logical step in the sales process. So who cares if the post shows to a few percentage points less of people if it's a way more effective post? So sometimes you can't go by what the experts and the gurus say for social media, because a lot of times they are getting you to measure your success in likes and engagement and things that you really can't take to the bank. You want to connect with people in your network who you know are the ideal job titles that you could serve, and you want to pitch them messages that eventually are going to get them to put up their hands and tell you that they want to talk to you about it in more detail, whether it's actually talking on the phone or doing emails or just through LinkedIn messaging. A couple of quick notes here just to wrap up the LinkedIn stuff. Don't worry about hashtags. Again, everybody bangs on, oh, you got to put hashtags in. Put this many hashtags. Put the hot hashtag. Put 20, put 3, do this, do that. I mean, sometimes they help, but again, I've worked with many different clients on their LinkedIn accounts, ongoing and LinkedIn campaigns and stuff. I've tested it. Honestly, hashtags don't really make a difference. One post has them, does fine. One post doesn't has them, does fine. It doesn't really matter. Like I said, don't worry about putting in the occasional external link. Yes, you might get 5% less reach or whatever, right? 5% less people looking at your post. Who cares? Sometimes that external link is really, really important to do, and it's very helpful. For posts in general, just piggybacking off the last podcast we did about doing great messaging and great emails, you always want to try for some kind of mix, an even mix of entertainment and information. And when you do give information, you don't have to give away the farm, right? You can tell somebody what to do, but not how to do it, let's say. Or you can tell someone why to do something, but not how to do it. Also, there's no need to be lecturing people saying, you need to do this, blah, 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 right? You're just kind of being conversational, just like you would in person. It has a bit of a structure to it. I'd also caution you to avoid what so many people are starting to do now on LinkedIn, which is to post a bunch of white noise crap like personal stuff, virtue signaling about charitable work they do, or somebody in their family is sick, or somebody in their family is recovered, or talking politics, or basically anything that uses LinkedIn like Facebook. Yes, a lot of people are doing it, but it's a total waste of time. It's not going to help you build your business, and you will really stand out by going on there and actually posting semi-professional things that relate to, issues, pains, problems, or hopes or dreams that your potential target market has, and then trying to help them find a solution. So again, avoid the white noise. Try to focus in on your business stuff. Whether you do images, just plain text posts, or videos, I'd actually encourage you to do a mix of all three. Videos are not getting as much reach as they used to, but it's very powerful when you can connect with people by them seeing your face and hearing your voice and so on. So just like external linking on LinkedIn, and by that I mean you put a link in your LinkedIn post and that sends them off LinkedIn, that might mean that LinkedIn shows your post to less people, but it's more effective. Same thing with video. They may show your video to less people initially on LinkedIn than an image, but video is so effective, I would have it in the mix. And you don't have to get precious with the stuff as long as you're doing it consistently, like I say, right? 5 to 10 new connections a week, 1 to 2 posts a week, following these simple formulas, and then just talking from your heart, talking from your experience, helping people solve problems that relate to your industry, you're going to do pretty well. To wrap this up, because it's gone a little bit longer than I intended, one thing that is something you can pay attention to on LinkedIn is the timing of when you post. Again, I wouldn't get too precious with it. If you can work it into your actual business day, then chances are the people you do business with will see it. But you just have to use your common sense. If you're in business to business and you're selling to an entrepreneur that's, let's say, I don't know, they have a carpet cleaning company and they're the owner operator, meaning they're actually out there cleaning the carpets, maybe they don't have time to check online until they get home later at night. So maybe then in that case, you'd want to do your post at the very end of your workday. If you're like a typical office 9 to 5 type person, you'd want to do the post first thing or around lunchtime. So just use your discretion and your knowledge of the people in your industry who you're trying to reach, and think about, but don't become a slave to timing, right? If you miss posting at the perfect time, in air quotes, don't worry about it. Just post anyway, consistently, connect anyway, consistently. And if you're doing B2B, you'll find that you'll be quite successful. If you're not satisfied with your current website or the service you get from your provider, you can switch to websites.ca for free and get a great support team behind you. Just visit business.websites.ca. That's BUSINESS.websites.ca, or email Ryan directly at ryan@websites.ca.
Thanks for listening, guys. Catch you next time.